All right, so look, revolution is not going to change anything if we are just replacing one master with another. At some point, we're going to have to deprogram and decolonize our mind and make the system of white supremacy and make the system of capitalism and make the system, this American matrix, make this shit irrelevant in our minds and focus on building something new that is more relevant to ourselves, to our nature, to the world around us. Really, that's the only way to beat this thing. How many times has there been revolutions? How many times have there been protests? How many times have there been this strong sense of we need to change things? And maybe things change a little bit, but it never changes the fact that this system of white supremacy and this system of capitalism is still running this motherfucking show. And when you think about it as, oh, well, it's just little old me versus this big old system, oh, whatever can I do? From that perspective, there's not much shit you can do. But there is one thing you can do, and it's perhaps the most powerful thing that you can do. If we know that the foundation of this material world is consciousness, if we know that consciousness is what collapses the infinite wave patterns of the universe into particles with defined states, if we know that it is your consciousness that literally brings shit to life, then at a certain point, you have to stop giving a fuck about whatever they are doing, whatever is happening out there, and whatever is going on in this American fucking matrix. Even if you have no money, even if you're starting right now with $0 fucking dollars in your pocket, you can start right now by freeing your mind. You can start by questioning your beliefs about money, about value, about success, about freedom. You can start by constantly asking yourself, is this my truth? Or is this the system's programming? Do I really like this shit? Or did the TV tell me to like this shit? You know what I'm saying? Even with no money, you can start by reducing your psychological dependency on this shit, on this media, on this network. You have to stop believing that the system is your only path to food, your only path to housing, your only path to opportunities. There is a world that exists outside the system. Obviously, the shit exists and you can consider it as an option. Of course, you could go to the store if you want some fish, but you can also go fishing. You know what I'm saying? Moving on, even with no money, you can build up your inner knowledge. Even if you can't afford to get all the hottest books on Amazon, all the dope shit, if you can't afford to get a whole collection for yourself, that's cool. There is a lot of knowledge online for free. You know how many fucking PDFs you can get for free? You know how many lectures you can watch on YouTube right now that can explain every fucking thing you ever wanted to know? You can do that shit right now for free. And by building up your own light, by building up your own level of knowledge itself, it will reduce your psychological dependency on this fucking matrix. Next, you have to start shifting your metrics of success. You have to stop measuring yourself by your job titles or by your income or by how many fucking likes you got on a social media post. Your metric of success should be based around more things like peace of mind. You know what I mean? Your levels of creativity. Do you have integrity? Does your thoughts, ways, and actions affect the community, the people around you in a positive way? Those should be more accurate levels of success or metrics to measure your success. Next, you can find other people who are just like you. You ain't got no money. They ain't got no money. Well, now you got two minds with no money who can work together and think about some solutions so y'all both can motherfucking eat. Nobody said you got to struggle alone. This bullshit, this matrix, this society tells you you're supposed to be alone, fend for yourself and everything. You just by yourself, independent individualism. How can we be so motherfucking individualistic and all by ourselves when there's billions of fucking people here? There's billions. We are not alone. And a lot of us are dealing with the same shit. And we would know that if we just say fucking hi every once in a while. And hey, how you doing? Hey, I'm going through this shit. Are you going through this shit too? You know what I mean? We start doing more shit like that. We'll realize that we have a network of people already who are just like us that we could utilize. As a community, we can work together and get some shit done. Another thing, we have to reject the shame programming. We gotta stop just fucking talk about, oh, so-and-so's broke. So-and-so is doing this. You are really shaming somebody for being unsuccessful in a corrupt and ass backwards, anti-human, fucked up ass system. Is just, it don't make any sense. Why would you waste your time doing that? It's not productive for you. It's not productive for them. It's not productive for anybody. In fact, when you really get down to it, most people are in poverty not because of their personal choices, regardless of what people fucking tell you. Most people are poor because all these fucking billionaires got all the goddamn money. Most people are poor because America is a fucking debt trap full of scams and motherfucking illusions that are all designed to get you excited and pull money out your pocket and waste it on motherfucking nothing. Poverty in America is a systemic problem. It's not always just a personal one, and we have to stop that fucking narrative of shaming people for being poor in a corrupt system. Next, you have to fast from consumer triggers. What does that mean? You got to stay away from media and advertisements and environments that make you feel like you have to buy some shit. You have to stay away from those types of spaces that make you feel insecure if you don't have this and whatever. You don't need that extra noise. So wherever you find that, find ways to cut that shit out. You got to cut out that extra noise telling you that you need shit that you don't need. All right, so next, you got to reclaim your time. Even if you're working a job, even if you work multiple jobs, and even if you really don't have time. Because I understand you have to work a lot in this world to be able to meet the basic demands of this society. However, if the idea of self-liberation was that important to you, you would find a way. And what little bit of time you have, whether it's on your lunch breaks, before work, when you get off work, in the middle of the night, whatever time you have, use that to create something. Use that to build something. Use that time to plan something. Use that time to invest in yourself. And it doesn't always have to be about money or monetary reasons. There's other ways you can invest in yourself that doesn't revolve around money. But the point is, you have to push yourself in the direction of becoming a self-sustaining human with a self-sustaining mind. And you do that by investing in yourself and using that time to build you up, whatever time that you may have. And lastly, you got to plant some seeds, which kind of goes along with the invest in your time thing, but plant some seeds, meaning learn a trade, learn a skill, learn something useful that you can do that can benefit other people. And while this system does exist, while this capitalistic system is still here, if we still need money to survive, then find ways to work to where your work is working for you. Write a book and sell it. Make digital products. Make some songs and generate some money on Spotify. Find ways to generate revenue that doesn't require as much of your physical labor so you can have more time to work on your self-sustaining system. Now, I know this was a whole lot, but this is all just to show that it is very possible to deprogram and decolonize yourself and your mind, even while you're poor, even while you're coming from a position of poverty, even if you don't have one motherfucking dollar in your pocket. It starts in your mind, and then it goes into your ways and actions. And the whole point of this is the system of white supremacy and the system of capitalism is as powerful as it is only because people believe in it. People give it energy and attention. So the only way to get rid of the system is not necessarily with fighting like you think. What if the way to get rid of the system is just to make it irrelevant? What if the way to get rid of the system is to really start asking the system, what the fuck do I need you for that I can't do for myself? You know what I mean? And as more and more people do that, as more and more people become self-sustaining and stop depending on the system, it will starve. It will run out of fuel, of life. It won't be able to continue on because the only way it continues is the exploitation of us. And when we stop giving it the energy, when we say, fuck you, and take our energy back and invest it in ourselves, we could turn that into a positive where the end goal is liberation. We can become self-sustaining as an individual. We can become self-sustaining in the household. We can become self-sustaining in the community. Then we can become self-sustaining in the city. And it just gets bigger and bigger to where eventually there's no more space for the system of white supremacy or the system of capitalism to occupy. There's just no more space for it to exist anymore. That's what'll happen when we make those systems irrelevant in our minds.